Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking another look here at SUI, seeing what's going on. Definitely looking a bit on the bearish side, as I mentioned previously. So I just want to kind of open the video here and kind of mention that, it's important, just some friendly advice to ensure that you remain gelid, right? You cannot attach yourself to a bullish or a bearish mindset for too long. Okay, so if you saw me being bullish on XYZ coin day before yesterday and now the market's broken bearish, you got to learn to shift and adjust. Okay, so again, what we're going to talk about here today is potential realities of further downside, what it's going to look like in order for it to recover if it were to, and then of course some dollar cost average targets, because I've been posting those on social media here, or more importantly my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and people are pretty content with that. So again, 350, 320, and 293 are the tentative numbers here for the moment, just to kind of get out there in the open. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Please do not forget to hit the like button on every single video. Helps grow the channel. Really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully you can find benefit here today. So I just like to teach people best practice and big picture, and we're going to take a look at both those things here today. So SUI, from a liquidation standpoint, majority of liquidation has been swept. Okay, so again, it doesn't mean it can't still go in that same direction. Just means it's maybe a little bit less likely to, or it's more likely to recover. Now, you could argue that we've already recovered because we came up to $4 and rejected pretty hard off that level. So again, standard stuff here, folks. Any solid round number is going to be a key level resistance or support, depending on which side you're on. In this case, obviously we're on the downside. We can presume $4 will be that resistance until it's broken, okay? So again, congrats to those who did short at that $4 mark. That is reflected here with some of these late shorts. Good news is there's not a ton of high leverage, which I love to see, okay? We got previous leverage amounts here, of course, at 455. That was, folks shorting the previous high. But the simple way to understand it here is that there's more liquidation left to the downside than the upside. We have a larger propensity for going lower here with this coin, okay? So just keep in mind, I've added to my spot bag twice at 350. Maybe a good consideration to set a limit order just to be on the safe side. You never truly know. But that wick down to 350 twice implies a third, fourth, fifth attempt to break that level will eventually do so, okay? So that may be the last line of defense here for us for the moment, obviously pending, whatever goes on in the market. But Bitcoin's looking pretty poor. We've got a couple of shorts open right now, including a Bitcoin short that is almost back in profit because we averaged in. But what I want to talk about here is the back end here. Just talk about the liquidation delta, okay? So before I sneeze here, apologize, 1 second. We want to double check and confirm the delta because it's a very simple indication of where people are the most or hedge the most, right? We've got more people shorting than taking longs right now, and with good reason. It makes perfect sense. This coin's been overextended for a while now. Now that we've lost that key level support in that 4 to 450 range, we can see the price continuing lower here. So again, liquidation delta tells us that there's more people taking shorts than longs, and in turn, what do you do with that? Well, that information is helpful because you don't take a long into a resistance. You don't take a long when everyone's taking shorts, right? There's a reason why people are short trading this coin. Okay, so again, try not to be that dynamo, that person that thinks that you're special because you took a long in the light of danger. Everyone wants a hero, sure, but a hero that goes to zero quickly is not really a hero at all, right? Again, terrible analogy, terrible word choice there. Whatever, I'm very bad at that, but I can tell you that I'm good at trading, and for the most part, better trades come from waiting for confirmation at this point until we close back soundly above $4 as just an easy number to remember. There's no reason to take a long into it. You could take a long into it, hypothetically. Keep in mind, we could recover and respond back and hit $4 here soon. If that is the case, great. But from a macro perspective, the trend is down and you don't trade against the trend, all right? That's roughly the idea. So take a look here at the daily time frame. Let's see what's going on. We can recognize, again, we've talked about this previously, 50 in the 20-day SMA below, above the price action. Ever since we've broken below that on the daily, we've been pretty much bearish. And again, this is just a current state of the market and or current state of this coin. It doesn't mean that a week from now we've broken bullish and I'm going to be blindly telling people to short. Yeah, that's just not how it's supposed to work. And future reference, I'm never going to recommend anybody short this coin because it's just super, super challenging to navigate. Like the recoveries for this coin is quick and fast, right? So if you're shorting, you better watch it close. But regardless, congrats to those who have been shorting because again, there's been a lot of signs telling us that. Anyways, the 50 and the 20-day SMA in the daily time frame is a pretty sure sign that the momentum has shifted. MACD's diverging, stochastics kind of running sideways, and we've been under 50 on the RSI as well. So there's multiple confirming factors from a macro perspective that there's no reason to take a long position with this coin. Spot bags are different. Anytime I say don't take a long, we're simply referring to a leverage play, right? Again, and if I were to ever recommend a leverage, a 5x leverage, no more than that, right? So if you take a quick look here, some of our profit recently, we took an XRP short a few days ago. Granted, this was yesterday's profit, but still relevant. We secured 50% profit on that. Same thing with Solana. Took us a week to get 32%, but I'm happy with that. Those are 5x leverage trades, okay? Again, another example here, AVAX, 28%. Granted, we did have to close out a Litecoin on Aave long. I've since flipped short for Aave, right? But again, these are just things you want to kind of be mindful of. Low leverage is king. You're going to get more sustainability. And you're going to be able to survive these ebbs and flows depending on the direction you're heading. Okay, 4-hour time frame. What are we looking at here? Well, we're under all moving averages yet again. Big surprise, right? Keep in mind, and just to clarify, in case you don't watch my Bitcoin videos, I would recommend you do so you know how the market's going to be moving. Bitcoin is tentatively under its 50 and 20-day SMA on the 4-hour. It's got a massive point of control at 105K. So I'm speculating the price isn't going to go too much higher here soon. I feel like we may come back down. Now, it's not a guarantee by any stretch, but this does factor in here because if you can see how poorly SUI has been behaving, contrary to Bitcoin, anytime Bitcoin goes sideways and it just kind of hints at pulling back, SUI pulls back greater. Okay, so please understand, it's not really all that smart to take a long position with this coin. And again, I'm sure some of you folks had good luck from 350 to 375, 380, and that's perfectly fine. You might even secure profits right at $4. And I love that. That's excellent. And I'm hoping that you were watching it close and not just setting it and forgetting it. Because again, you don't do that on higher risk trades. Okay. Cool. Glad we know that. Now I know you're going to be responsible, right? Moving forward, though, below all moving averages, not a good sign. We want to be back up over the 20-day at the very least to have any confidence in taking a trade. Even at that point, I'm not going to be very happy about it. I want to be over the 50 here. I want to be up over $4 to feel confident in a trade that I take. Okay. Now, again, that's not just going to happen as soon as we break above $4. I'm not going to take it long. I'm going to wait for a bullish backtest of that horizontal support first, right? But again, there's a lot of factors involved, but everything here is pointing down. MACD's diverging, stochastics pulling back. 4-hour time frames also reflecting we're under our 50 in the RSI. There's nothing here that's good, okay? Again, if you're thinking that you're seeing something good, you got to think again, because those are not confirming factors. Those are hidden bearish and bullish divergences, things that you're reaching for to try to convince yourself to take a trade. Literally, every time I analyze the charts, folks, I'm convincing myself to not take a trade to ensure that I'm not being, ridiculous in my trading, right? Granted, I have a few hundred traders underneath me who are following my trade signals, so I do have a fiduciary responsibility, but on the same accord, I'm like that regardless. I've been doing that for 20 years, well, more like 15 years responsibly. The first 5 was trial and error. But in the last 20 years, I can tell you that I've developed good risk tolerance because I hold true to a system, right? And the system right now is telling me this is a very bad idea to take it long. We broke above the cloud for about an hour or two, and we've been working our way down ever since. Exactly why in my instructional video for the Ichimoku Cloud, I talk about waiting for confirmation. You want to wait for 4 hours above. That didn't happen. Even if it would have happened, Bitcoin still has another prerogative here. It's starting to pull back. Unless we have some kind of magical amount of volume coming into Bitcoin soon, I do think it's a pretty bad situation right now. Okay, and that specifically suits this coin here. So are we gonna see 350 again? That's if Bitcoin pulls back to that 100K mark or below. If that doesn't happen, then there's a good chance we're going to probably continue to establish higher highs and higher lows. We could break the short-term descending trend, close above $4, we'll be good, Bob's your uncle, right? Between now and then, I don't necessarily recommend any kind of high leverage or even super low leverage is just not a good idea. Add your spot bag as the price comes lower. Once again, good DCA targets for this coin, still valid as of yesterday, is 350, 320, and 293. Okay. You could even add it at about 370 right now if you want, but I still think that's a bad idea considering how volatile to the downside this coin has been lately. It makes a lot more sense to set limit orders that may never happen than to try to navigate this ridiculous market right now. Okay. So again, no trade is a good trade. Try to remember that. Go to bed tonight and repeat that a few times. Right? Sometimes people they overtrade like crazy and it just makes no sense to me. You're just gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna stress yourself out. It's ridiculous. I'd much rather wait for a good opportunity that never happens than to take one that's a bad one. Okay. Again, easier said than done. Totally get it. But at this point, SUI is not in good shape. Okay. So I'll post a playout chart again on our our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll update the charts here as well to reflect that. And then obviously, if you want to consider joining, cryptocash.tech is a site link down below. We've got a trading academy, community, and signals group. and things are looking pretty good here. But make sure you interact with our community, get to know everybody. It's just an awesome group here, folks. We all learn and grow together, and that's what this is, just a big learning experience. Even I'm learning new stuff day in and day out, okay? And I've been around for a while. So hope you all have a good one. Thanks again for finding benefit if you did. If not, perhaps the next video will speak to you. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.